We are Legion.
We are all.
We are one.
We are
Watching.
Every item does not appear in our records. It does not exist.
For Illuminati.
the Holocron.
Hey folks, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. We're doing well. I'm here with Adam, and we're here with our new feature. This is not featured fan, because I know Adam and you know Adam, and that would be a waste of time. This is the Holocron, Hoard Illuminati Holocron, and what we're going to be doing with this is going back into the history of the Star Wars Card Trader app and look at some of the classics, some of the not so classics, some of the hits, some of the misses, and just take a look at some of the weird shit that's happened. And you may have wondered, how did these come out? Where did this come from? Why did they do this? And why are they doing it again in this case? Because the first one we're going to be talking about is, it's a classic. Really didn't make a lot of people very happy. And here it is again. Adam, tell us about power boxes.
Yeah, well, we all know that the last week or so we've been inundated with triple packs. They've been expensive, they've been very confusing, and really expensive. Let's face it, they're expensive if you're trying to put together some of those overall awards. Well, there was a time back in May 2016 where Topps tried this before and they actually got it right. And that was called the Power Box. Joking aside with the name, because it had a lot of people going, Power Box, back in the day.
Referring to a woman's vagina.
You said it, not me. So let's break down what the Power Box was. This was a pack that you could buy once per day, and it was limited to 10,000 packs per day. The best part was that the price point allowed everyone to get involved. It was 50,000 credits for the box. Or you could spend 25,000 credits if you purchased Master Access for the day. And you could get one power box per day.
Well, now for people don't remember Master Access.
Go ahead.
You had to buy in. You basically had to pay. You bought at least 99 cents worth of coins at that time. This is before the dark times, before the crystals. And so you would buy 99 cents worth of coins, which was usually, about 25,000 coins, I think, for 99 cents. It's like a day's worth of coins. And that would give you Master Access. So please proceed.
Yeah. And these boxes had, I believe, about 25 cards in them. And at the time, it was the beginning, still kind of the first half of Series 3, where we got the Series 3 base and the Force Awakens base, which were called the same thing, but we all rolled them into Series 3. And these packs were flush with greens and oranges. Up until that time, those cards were only available through Master Access or through melding in the Smuggler's Den. And you either had to meld 10 reds for a green and then 20 greens for an orange. It was crazy amount to meld. Now people throw an orange for 9 base all day long, but back then it was, hey, you don't touch my oranges. And there is a primary set with the Power Box. It was called the Armory. And this was a 35 card set with 4 variants.
God.
And it was all blasters, lightsabers, weapons throughout the saga. These had a lot of people liked them, and a lot of people did not like them because they saw that this was a rehash of the Armory that was done previously as a Force Awakens set. And it was still coming off the heels of Elegant Weapons, which were, at the time, one of the most popular sets in the app.
That was a prestige set.
Yeah. So a lot of people are like, man, this is just a rehash of this. But at the same time, they could get some of those cards at an affordable rate. There were 4 variants with these. Blue came guaranteed in your power box. You had a 1 in 20 shot at a red, which was a 2,500 count. You had a 1 in 100 shot at a purple, which was a 500 count. And a 1 in 1,000 shot at a gold, which was a 50 count card. Now, keep in mind, we laugh at a 1 in 1,000. But this was an opportunity for every player to get a low count card that was unobtainable prior to this set. You couldn't get a 50 count card with coins to save your life.
Yeah, 50 count back then was like the shit. I mean, that was really rare.
That was a single count now.
I don't know if it's quite that. Maybe a 10 count now.
Just about. So within the power box, there was armory, but they also interspersed different Clone Wars sets and other sets along the way. So this week we had the armory, and you might have had Saber Warriors, which was a Clone Wars set. Some really cool cards.
Those are nice looking cards. Great artwork and a full bleed image, as I recall.
No variants.
No variants. Really nice looking cards. I'm not into that, but man, they were really good looking cards.
Yeah, that was an 8-card set with its own separate award. Later on, they had Emblematic, which had a lot of really cool Ahsoka, which has been used multiple times since then. That was a 6-card set. They had Tagged, which was a graffiti set. It was kind of like graffiti stencils that came weeks later. That was a 12-card set with an award. And then they had Alliances, which was probably one of the best Clone Wars sets in the app, hands down. It had amazing artwork from Dooku, Maul, Savage, Ventress. It had all these amazing artworks. And Clone Troopers, which were pretty popular at the time with the Clone Wars show. They would charge 1,000, 1,500 crystals for each of these cards if it was current day. And they were mixed in with this set. So, you had a chance at any of those, and these ran over the course of about a month and a half to 2 months. You get these power boxes. And if you didn't get a blue armory, you got one of these other cards in your set.
And then you also got the greens and the oranges, which, again, at that time were really a premium. And the S3, they have counts on them. Go look at the counts on orange, green S3 and orange S3. They're pretty low.
They are pretty low.
Like insert level low.
And what was cool about those base variants, or those base cards in there, is that you just couldn't get those. People don't realize, because of claim packs today, that you just couldn't get your hands on those base cards. And it was worth the coins alone, or the 99-cent Master Access, just to get your hands on some of those green and orange melts. Especially when they did funky stuff like take the Rancors out of the packs later on.
Yeah, or if you had dreams of doing a rainbow in S3.
Yes.
Which were all dashed by a couple of dead users.
Right. Now, the Alliances set, if you ever go back in there, there's one card in that set that's very low count compared to the others. Most of those are in the 5,000 to 6,000 range. There's one with all the baddies from the Clone Wars in it. It's widescreen, not portrait, and that one is about a 2,500 count. The reason why that one is so low is because it was the original award that they accidentally put into packs.
Oops.
And they had to replace the award later on with kind of a crappy Bosk and some clone troopers. It was just like battle droids. It was kind of a crappy replacement award, but very low. People were scrambling for that card. I managed to keep about 5 of those for myself today because I love it because it's got Count Dooku in it. Now, one thing they also threw in there later on, you may have seen these in the app, BB-8 One of a Kind.
Those I remember, and those are really nice looking cards. I never understood why there was never a one count of that.
Well, funny enough, they gilded them later.
No.
So technically,
those fuckers. Classic Topps move.
Yeah,
you asked for it. You asked
plus an award.
God damn it.
And not only that, besides those sets, which are very cool, those are BB-8 collectors still hunt those cards down today.
Yeah.
And those span the life of the end of the power boxes and went into power box platinums and all these other things later on because they didn't sell enough of them at the end to get the counts up because they released them too late. They were trickling them out like one at a time. And they ran out of days, so they just started putting them in other things. So those later one of a kind are still also hard to find. But they also threw one more set in there at the very end. Believe it or not, we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is a 7th set that ended up in the Power Box. Now, you remember Prism Series 2?
Oh, yes.
They put a special variant, black variant, into the Power Box.
Hmm.
And that one, the first 2 cards, which I believe were Vader and Stormtrooper, were a pretty high count. They're in the 3 to 500 range. But as those packs trickle down into the last couple days, those counts went to almost nothing. So where the Boba Fett, I believe, is somewhere in the 60 to 70 range, and the Ahsoka award for that set is 24 count.
Ouch. Yeah, good luck to
24
you.
count Ahsoka award.
Ow, good luck running those down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, one of the kind of oddities in that Prism set, and you may have noticed before, the Darth Vader in that set has a different background than the rest. They put like extra parts to the prism behind him. So the Vader, especially in the black variant, looks like there's a black cat head behind him.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Wow. Well, maybe, I don't know, was it close to the 4th of July? Maybe they were advertising black cat firecrackers. Now, the blue looks like that as well. It has that blue background, but all the Vader cards have that extra bit of background. And it does look like a cat. I can't unsee that now. Thanks a lot. God damn it.
You're welcome, audience.
But I love that card because I love cats. I actually have that set in blue.
Yeah.
I'm not baller enough even to get that in black, but those are nasty looking cards. I always like the Prism S1 because they actually look like Prism. Prism 2 looks like there's some kind of growth, some kind of bacterial growth or something happening. They didn't look particularly, gemstone-y. Yeah. It's a little different.
And then for the marathon, they went back to the original Series 1 version of Prism.
Yes, with
the
the
classic one that we know.
Yes, with the more diamond-y looking thing going on there.
Which they also did limiteds of those, too. So they pretty much killed the shit out of everything over the years. But, so what made this set cool? To me, I think it was one of those sets that put everyone on a level playing field, which is super important to do in a game like this, where if I open a pack and I've got 200 cards in my deck, or if I open a pack and I've got 200,000 cards in my deck, I've got the same odds to pull that 50 count card as anyone else does. And that's important in a game like this. We see this all the time today, and we've talked about it before, Greg, where when someone's new to the game, what do they do? How do they onboard? How do they get into this game?
Right.
You either buy, Padawan packs and get shit no one wants, or you drop some major bucks to get something that will kind of get
how can you get some trade power for not a lot of jack, especially when you're just dipping your toe in and don't know if you want to invest and, buying diamondoids and stuff like that. This was obviously pre-diamond era, but it may have been an incentive for some people to actually buy in that 99 cents to get that cheaper box.
For sure. And that was a time when, there was still a lot of people playing that are more than today, and you'd see those counts in the blue variant of Armory, the Saber Warriors especially. Those counts and those inserts hover around between 7,000 and 13,000 on some of those. Yeah. But you still have the opportunity to pick up a 50 count. And it, like I said, it leveled the playing field. It got everyone involved. It got everyone trading. Now, the flip side to that argument of what maybe made it not so cool is that, and things like Premier paintings at the time, was the first indication that pack prices were on the rise. Mm-hmm. We started going from 5K packs to 7,500K packs to 30,000K packs. So you had this that was 50. And like so many times we've seen before, it was everyone predicted this is the death
this
of
is
the
the
app.
death of
This
the
is
app.
the death.
Mark, go ahead and engrave the gravestone on this day, September 16th, 2016. Whenever the hell it was.
Yeah. Now, with the power boxes, because it was 50K guaranteed, and you got an insert, it was no different than 1 in 10 on 5K packs.
Right.
And people were quick to forget that. Besides the fact that you had a chance with all these stacking, with all the oranges and greens falling out of packs, people are like, oh, I'm not paying 50K for a pack. Well, you're really paying no different than 1 in 10 in a 5K pack, and you actually get something out of it. You don't roll that die 50 times and come up blank on a 1 in 10.
It was a guarantee.
It was a guarantee.
Yeah. And in terms of looking at the sets that we've talked about, things like the alliances, these are cards, even though I don't like Clone Wars, I pick these up in cross-trade and stuff all the time because they're great-looking cards that have awesome characters with huge appeal. And I have a stack of these things sitting in my pile right now. Even though I'm not into that, they have lasting appeal. They're great-looking cards, and anybody who's getting in now, who's into Clone Wars, or if you like Darth Maul, go look at the Darth Maul cards that they have in that set. They're fucking awesome.
So the question is really, with the power boxes, normally we'd ask, should Topps do this again? And the answer is, well,
they already are.
They have, but they've kind of done what Topps does with these things, and they've made a cool concept, something that's less obtainable for the average user. With the triple packs, we've seen that, yes, you're still in that 1 in 10 range for some cards, but you don't have access to all those low counts with credits. Some of the triple packs are not in credit packs. So if you're only able to get one pack type from the credit packs, that's not a triple pack. That's just a pack. So my suggestion is bring back something like this where all the variants are available with coins. We saw this extremely successful in Marvel with the 10-year MCU packs. Those were gangbusters.
Yeah, box
for
release.
For a day. Yeah. And the opportunity to get those 500
even
counts,
if it's a limited pack type thing where you go, okay, we're going to have 10,000 packs or something like that. Yeah. But give people the opportunity, or at least a chance, to get at some of that good stuff for coins. Yeah, and what was interesting here is it wasn't just you got a shot at 1 of 10,000 packs. That thing refreshed day after day after day. So they didn't want people blowing 1 million coins on these every single day. They wanted you to keep coming back, get engaged with the app, get engaged with the community. Do one of these shots per day or a couple per day, and know that once those packs are gone, don't worry, they're coming back tomorrow. Well, and
Come back, spend some time.
The model, the way it was set up at that time, was really to get you at 25,000 with Master Access. The model was geared towards getting you to spend 99 cents today.
Yeah.
And then 99 cents tomorrow, 99 cents the day after that, and get you into that entry-level idea of spending so that you got used to the idea, okay, I'm getting a benefit out of this by doing this. I can take my daily credits and 99 cents and I can get some good stuff. And that's a model that they don't seem to lean on very often.
Yeah, and even if you weren't in the spender category, you could save up 2 days and come back every other day and still be part of the gang, be part of the community, and trade around, build your collection. You might get that lucky pull of that 50 count and turn that into something awesome.
Yeah.
Whether it be an old signature at the time, you might have turned that into, some cool base variant, something that
Pearl Darth Vader.
Oh,
Not really.
There you go.
You're not going to get one of those.
No. So I really do think Topps should revisit this idea, but rework what they've been doing lately into something that the whole community can participate in. With the power boxes from 2016, we saw 200 plus inserts available in that.
That's a lot.
200.
Well, these things they're doing now feels like 200 on, a day for a 24-hour speed award. I don't know. They're kind of off the rails right now. It's definitely a look back at those good old days to see something like that and try to imagine that they could ever go back to it. I don't know. It doesn't feel likely.
Yeah. Well, maybe ideas like this will kind of spawn new ideas.
Here's what I'd say is people take a look at those cards out there that are already there. Things like the
Yeah.
alliances, things like the one-of-a-kind BB-8s that are relatively high count compared to the stuff you see today. And maybe go back and see if you can send out some blinds or do some cross-trading or see if you can't round up some of those oldie-goldie moldies that are sitting around there and maybe save your money, keep it in your pocket, and look at getting some of these old gems from the past that people really don't place a lot of value on, and maybe they should.
Yeah, old weapons guys, these, everyone's got stacks of armory cards that was around back in the day. And trooper guys, my goodness, if you're a fan of Captain Rex, these are the sets for you.
Yeah, they're all over the place. So, that's that, and the counts are high. They're relatively high compared to what we see today. And the values are really almost nothing. You don't see these coming up on the bay for any kind of coin. So it'd be relatively easy for somebody to look around and see about trading into those things. If you don't want to pay, play. Get out there and trade some, man. Yeah.
So just to rehash, we got Armory, Saber Warriors, Emblematic, Tagged, Alliances, BB-8 one-of-a-kind, Prison. What a set from back in the day.
Yeah,
so,
a lot of stuff to run down. So there you go. And it's fun. It's a fun challenge to chase shit like that down. You'd be surprised how much fun it is and how satisfying it is to drop that last one into its slot and you've completed that old set. And some of these, like I say, the counts are not that low. You can run down some of these guys.
Yeah, even the awards.
Yep. So there you go. So there it is. Our first, I think it's a success. I think it's our first successful episode, what do you want to call it, of the Holocron, the Hoard Illuminati Holocron. So Adam, thank you for doing all the research on that. I was just the idiot in this because I know nothing about the power box. Hopefully in the future I will be able to contribute something more than golly goshes.
Well, as someone that lived through it and collected most of these sets the first time around, I'm still glad to have them. And I'm glad that we get to talk about them again. Cool.
All right. That's fun. Well, thanks everybody for listening. We are the Hoard Illuminati. Our Twitter handle, email is hoardcast@gmail.com. We got a phone number, which is 904-628-1138. If you've got a suggestion or if you remember an oldie goldie moldy set, hit us up on Twitter, look for us on Reddit, or call and leave a voicemail. We'd love to hear from you. Adam, thanks again for your time and your expertise in this thing today. It was really good.
Happy to do it.
Okay, man.
We'll see you next time, folks.
Arrivederci.
We are Legion.
We are all.
We are one.
We are.
Watching.
Every item does not appear in our records. It does not exist.
Hoard Illuminati.